Hello, my name is Betsy Heredia,
My name is Amelia Farias.
My name is Elali Garcia.
and this is the life of Abigail. Infancy. One day, Abigail was born to two loving parents. When she was first born, she weighed 7 pounds and was 20 inches long in height. The next day, her parents took her home. When she was 2 years old, her parents bought her a stuffed animal to play with. She would babble and coo for her parents to give it to her. However, although she would reach for it, they soon realized that her muscle system was too immature to grasp objects. It wasn't until she was 4 months old that she could finally grab stationary objects like her stuffed animal. One day when she was 6 months old already, her mom looks over and sees her crawling on the carpet. She crawled all the way until she was right in front of her mother, when then she sat up in a sitting position and smiled at her mommy. 6 months passed and Abigail had finally turned 1 year old. As she blew out her birthday candles, her mother nearly cried when she mumbled her first word, Mama. Early childhood. Once Abigail turned 1 year old, her physical development started to slow down, but her mental development quickly advanced. Her dad bought her a box of crayons. Now that she had better muscle coordination, she loved using the crayons to learn how to draw and eventually to start practicing to write. However, since she had a short attention span, she soon stopped and asked her dad to go to the park to run and climb trees. When her dad would say no, she didn't know how to express her feelings and got what was known as temper tantrums. At age 3, her digestive system is now mature enough where she can go to restaurants with her parents to eat adult food. Since she is old enough, she always has to tell her mom when she needs to go to the restroom. Fast forwarding to when she is 5 and going into her 6th year, she now has at least 2,000 words in her vocabulary and can verbally communicate with her parents. Compared to when she was 2 years old and she was 1, she now had better control of her emotions and could tell the difference between right and wrong.
Late childhood. Abigail was turning 6 years old and her first year of school. By this age, she's frightened about school. She's really uncertain about school, would rather stay with her parents. Abigail is taught that school is where you can meet new friends and new things. Parents' goal is to control fears and confidence and use manners, her hygiene, and from getting sick or getting infections at school, just like she was taught at home. Abigail starts not to like school mainly because she's not used to hearing opinions, behaviors, and opposite sex genders. New things she's seen. With the help of her parents' approval, with peers and new ideas, she uses that in order to understand these changes. At the age 7, Abigail, her skills of language and activities with peers improve, but still with parents' approval. By the age 8 to 9 years, Abigail improves her independence to make her own decisions with little to no parent approval. But the parents also need to approach her non-judgmental. Later throughout her last years of late childhood, which is 10 to 12 years old, Abigail starts to make new friends easy with her own age or different people. Abigail starts to be aware of opposite sex and she starts to sexually mature and be more and more independent without her parents. Abigail's emotions start to get difficult, but parents need to approach her because of the changes of her body and mental mindset is changing. Adolescence. Abigail is 13 years old, the year where her body starts to change, the bad life. This is the time of her body changes and her mindset changes. Like weight growth is huge and height. Abigail is growing from many inches from 11 to 13 inches. Abigail has to be more educated For example, her hygiene, developmental changes, sexually diseases or diseases in general, abuse, and nutrition. Abigail, the more she's growing older, she's getting more responsible for decision, knowledge, and skills. Her identity is established. Many conflicts come to her life in Abigail. She's getting conflicts with relationships, peers, insecurities, until later that her confidence is building up when she's getting older. And her attitude, because of the conflicts in the past, she starts to build up an establishment showing that her true identity and she's able to cope with peer groups. She improves her adult status. She's more responsible without her parents because of the assistance her parents give her. With her parents and being more educated about the problems that will come during this time.
Early adulthood. Abigail then turns 19, and this is at the early adulthood stage where her development is basically completed. As 2 years have passed by and leads a healthy lifestyle, she decides that it's time for her to move out from her parents' house. She's starting to make her own decisions and decides to start college. It seems like she is subjected to a lot of emotional stress. During this stage, Abigail tends to associate with other people that have similar ambitions as her. In this stage, she needs independence, social acceptance, self-confidence, and more reassurance. Middle adulthood. Later, Abigail turned 50 and many physical changes have occurred. Her hair started to turn gray and thin, her skin began to get wrinkled, her muscle tones tend to decrease, and her visual starts to decline, and weight gain starts to occur. Abigail started to experience menopause and hormone production, which caused her physical and emotional changes. She feels more confident when it comes to making more decisions, which makes her mental ability to decrease.
Late adulthood. She is now 65. From this point on, her mental ability has decreased. At the age 75, she even develops Alzheimer's disease. She has to depend a lot on others and enters a senior retirement center. There she feels very lonely, but at least she has a very limited circle of friends. At the age of 80, she made her final peace and passed away. The end.